Ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League where the grind continues. We are back with yet another play-in match tonight. We are moving into the Rival League where we have the number 8 seed Arrival going up against the number 10 seed Gravelords. Now, on Mondays or over the course of this week, I should say, we did have some developments as Arrival lost to the Pineapples in match 1, and Gravelords was able to take a W over Chimeras in match number 2, and they will be facing off here in match number 3. The loser of this match goes home. The winner secures their spot in the playoffs against the number 1 seed Distortion. Your boy Psychonautic in the booth, ready to bring this action straight to you, and I am joined by Dr. Waffles himself. How you doing, man?
Hello. Dr. Waffles with no camera today. May get that figured out later. I'm so sorry you guys don't get to see my beautiful face. Yes, I'm very excited. Those rival games are always something to watch. Arrival versus Gravelords, 8th seed versus 10th seed. This one's going to be interesting. This is last chance for both of these rosters to make it into that actual playoff tournament. Arrival with Mythic, Ibonic, and oh gosh, is that Kaysen or just Sin? Kaysen would make sense, wouldn't it?
No, it's not Kaysen. It's just Case. Are you talking about on the Gravelords?
No, on Arrival.
Oh, they got
KSEN.
KSE. Oh, yeah. They do have Kaysen, but I don't think he's going to be playing here tonight. It looks like just Ibonic.
Oh, you're right. It is Cottony, Mythic, and Ibonic. And for the Gravelords, we've got Magma, we've got Case, and we've got Shun. I'm excited for tonight. I don't know if I've seen these teams play. I may have, but I just forgot. I don't know a whole lot about these rosters, Rocker. Is there anything you could tell me about them?
Rocker?
Sorry. I was looking at Rockerman's picture that they have over my camera on the Nemesis stream, and I just couldn't think of anything else than that man's beautiful bald head.
True. The Gravelords with Shun, Case, and Magma. Definitely a deadly roster. They beat out my Chimeras in the second match in play-ins. The Chimeras were almost able to pull the reverse sweep off of them, but they did pull it out in game number 5. And the Gravelords, they took the first 2 games. They're a really, really strong team. Case is super mechanical, super good first man. Magma is just all around a great player, been in the Nemesis League for a long time, and he can just do it all. He can shoot on the net, he can save on the net, he can just do all of the things that you need him to do. And Shun, I feel like, is the same way, just a really solid all-around guy. So allowing Case to sort of take that first man role and then having really 2 really solid backup players is what makes Gravelords really a deadly match. But Arrival is just like 3 really mechanical players in my opinion. So it's both of these teams are scary in their own right, Waffles.
Oh, absolutely. I could only imagine. I actually do remember now seeing those Gravelords. I actually casted that match with you, the Gravelords playing against Chimeras. And yes, they do look pretty good. I think we do have all of our players in the lobby now, and we are a few minutes behind schedule. So I think we're going to go ahead and hop in here in just a second. So I think I'm going to give you my my prediction here. Hopefully, you didn't have anything else wonderful to say.
No, I sure didn't.
You know what? I think I'm just going to go straight for the fact that Gravelords beat your Chimeras. I think it's just one of those situations where they better get pretty far into this tournament. Otherwise, your team would have gone down for naught. So I'm going Gravelords here, just out of respect for your org, Rocker.
I'm not Rocker Man.
Gosh, why do I keep saying that? Psycho. I know who you are. Trust me.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And I gotta agree with you there. I think this Arrival team is really strong,
Ooh.
as Cottony just proves me right. He comes out of nowhere and just dunks the mess out of Case, starting things off for Arrival. And I was gonna say, I think this Arrival roster is really really strong. But personally, I'm personally hoping for the Gravelords to be able to make it through, so that way, my Chimeras can say, "Hey, we lost to a championship team" or whatever. But they're not starting off great for me, Doctor Waffles.
Not quite. Although that was either a unfortunate pinch or a very very calculated pitch coming out there from Cottony off the ceiling. Great play if he meant to.
Great play indeed, and Mythic
Oh
with yet
no.
another dunk. We're starting to see a pattern here from Arrival.
Another challenge, this time over in the corner. Mythic uh, challenges just a little late off that challenge from Case, and that one just flies right in. That's two really unfortunate goals right in a row for the Gravelords. From here on, it's only a minute in. You still got plenty of time, but the the mindset after that, it's going to be rough, Psycho, if you can't keep your composure here.
Yeah, I agree. And looking like the mindset is going to just fall apart as Cottony takes advantage of a sleeping defense and gets the third goal for Arrival here. They're starting to run away with this, and it's just game one.
Yeah, their Cottony is again just being in the way, and it seems like everything he touched turns to gold right now. I mean, it is only the first game of the series, and so there's plenty of time left, but man, that's just unfortunate for Gravelords going down 3 goals already. This first game looking chalked as far as they're concerned, but long game left. I guess we'll have to see what happens here.
That's a tough spot to be in for sure. But even if they were to go down in this game, there's still not only a long game left, Cottony with another shot, but a lot of game left, but a lot of series left as well. And this is a best of 5 series, so the first team to 3 wins takes home the W. And Cottony sending it out from Arrival's half. Case trying to stick with it. It gets hit by Ibonic and blocked. Mythic trying to get the shot. Can't get it through the defense as the shot goes a little bit wide. Shun is up, but Magma beats him to it, beating out his own teammate. Magma there with it, but Cottony beats him to it. Cottony trying to get it down. Case going to deflect it away from his net. Ibonic with it. Ibonic still sticking with it, leaving it for Mythic there, but a little bit of a miscommunication, it looked like, as both Arrival members ended up awkward on that ball. The ball rolls up. Ibonic off the ceiling, gets the touch pass one in the midfield. Shun pops it up, sticks with it. Can't do much else. Case to take it away from him as he gets demoed by a rotating Ibonic. Case trying to get it through, but it bounces all the way across. Shun with a shot opportunity that goes wide there. And that is a dropped opportunity that you don't want to see, Dr. Waffles. Gravelord still down by 3. They need every shot they can sink.
Yeah, they needed that one right there. Just at least for some momentum going into game 2, even if they can't come back from this. And it's an interesting situation here because I mean every goal that's come out so far. Oh, there we go. Case will finally open it up for Gravelords. Nice angle from him off of the challenge into the corner. Shun off the backboard. Case plops that in right underneath Ibonic, but yeah, Gravelords, if they were able to get that one a little bit sooner, they would have had a much better chance. Now, it's definitely possible, as we all know. And, even if they don't win this first game, you definitely need a goal or two just to know that you can score. Because, I mean, even though Arrival is up 3 goals, every single one of them was just unfortunate challenges. I don't think they were really outplayed necessarily, just out 50'd or out challenged or out pinched, and those aren't things that happen consistently once you get warmed up in a series. So I think that they definitely still have a chance here. They have time to come back and even this game. But this first game is definitely a rough one for Gravelords.
Yeah, I agree with that. And not only that, but those situations like you were talking about,
Whoa.
Case with the shot, Shun
There it
to
is.
clean things
There
up,
it
and the
is.
Gravelords starting to find their groove.
Magma called off by Case. Case gets an absolute banger bottom left. The double commit coming out from Arrival, and that's all you need for Case to finish that off. Or sorry, Shun to finish that off.
It's good to see the Gravelords starting to make a comeback here. Game number 1, we got a little under 60 seconds here. Can they force the overtime or possibly even get the winning goal here in regulation? As Shun pops it up, Mythic gets the touch, but Shun is still there. Cottony beating out the offender, not allowing any sort of offense near his net. SK's going to 50 with Ibonic. Shun takes control, sends it into the mid. 30 seconds left here as the Gravelords scramble to find one. Magma with the touch. Shun is up off the backboard. Mythic misses his touch. This could be dangerous. Magma can't get what he's looking for in Case. A little bit slow to the ball, but he finally comes through and makes the touch. Shun sending it out to the mid as Cottony is going to clear it out. Magma is caught out, and that is looking like quite the dagger in the side of Gravelords.
Yeah, that'll pretty much round up game 1 for us. But I mean, it doesn't really. If you take into consideration the 2 crazy pinches and 50s that Arrival got, you could even argue that 3 of them were just unfortunate 50s. That's a much closer and more approachable game there for Gravelords. So even though they go down in this first game, I think they definitely need to keep their head up here. They need to keep on that pressure. After not scoring for a whole half, 2 goals in half a game is nothing to scoff at, especially when, their defense really wasn't that bad. Other than those pinches, they only allowed in 1 goal. And so yeah, I think Gravelords definitely need to come back here solid in the second game. I think if they can't come back after that unfortunate first loss, I think that their hopes for the rest of the series are going to be pretty low, just, momentum wise and whatnot. Oh, look at that. My camera's back too. Hello, people.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think that the Gravelords need a win here in game number 2. If Arrival is allowed that much momentum, it's going to be really dangerous for them. This Arrival team is feeling themselves tonight. And to be honest with you, I'm a little bit surprised that Arrival is in the play-ins and not the playoffs. But obviously, not everybody can have an ideal regular season. But it's just these 3 guys, when I see them play together, I'm astonished. Sometimes they look at times like a Titan team here in the rival league. So it was a bit surprising, but it is what it is. And here they are in the postseason, regardless, doing a pretty good job so far. Had a pretty convincing win there in game number 1 against the Gravelords, who are in their own right a really good team as well. As Shun trying to show off a little bit of his flicking skills there. Wasn't able to get it through the defense. Cottony taking his time here. Case given a little bit of space, but eventually goes for the challenge. And Ibonic beating out 2 of the defenders, but can't get a shot that's on net. Just trying to get it through the defense. And Ibonic getting in front of Case there, trying to shake things up a little bit here. Shun's there for the shot. Can't get it through. Cottony sends this one all the way back down into Gravelord's half. And Shun and Mythic gonna 50 there in front of the net. Magma sending it down to Shun, looking for a redirect, but can't find the touch. Cottony can't get it past Magma, as Gravelord's gonna keep the pressure in their favor. With a little over a minute gone so far, Dr. Waffles, we still have a scoreless game here. But it looks like the Gravelords are starting to be a little bit more alive as they are able to find the back of the net and get the lead over Arrival.
Psycho, someone's got to start a caster curse counter for you, Because I mean, I swear, every single time we get together, I don't know if it's us, if it's our duo or what it is, but I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to be honest. But I do agree with you. Gravelords definitely coming out in this second game looking a lot better. I was gonna say before they scored, even though there's no score, they're at least now they're competing. The ball's going back and forth. They're keeping up some offensive pressure. That was a great play out of Gravelords there to put them up one, keeping the pressure on, playing the ball up in the air, which seems to be their strength already. Yeah, great play coming out from the Gravelords in game two. This is what they needed.
Will they be able to keep it up, or will Arrival take the momentum back in their favor? As Mythic takes the shot, Magma gets the save. Magma with a second touch, but can't do much else with it. Case gonna clear this one across the midline as Mythic sends it all the way back, and Magma was there luckily to stop a shot that was on net. What a huge clear from Arrival there. This Case gonna try and get control of the ball, but can't find it. Mythic sends it across. Ibonic taking control. Case in the midfield to take it from him. Case trying to get a little fancy with it, but Mythic stays strong defensively. And Ibonic to send it across. Mythic is there, misses the touch. And Magma going to take control. 50s with Cottony as it pinches in favor of Arrival. Shun down to Magma, back to Shun. 50s with Ibonic. And this is just a little bit of some craziness going on here as this ball just ping-pongs not only back and forth between the teams, but seemingly in between the teams. Ibonic with a huge bump right there, but nobody else from Arrival was able to capitalize on that bump. Less than 2 minutes left on this clock here, Dr. Waffles, and Gravelords still have this lead. I'm interested to see Arrival come back from this case with a huge save and almost getting the caster curse again.
Yeah, Gravelords were in a very, very dangerous position a few seconds ago from the push on Arrivals. I was swapping in between the Gravelords players as they were trying to defend, and there was two of them on either 0 or 12 boost for most of that push. And I think the only one that had boost was Shun, but that was because he left goal to go get it. So that was very dangerous for Gravelords. Very impressive that they were able to keep that out of there. They kept their cool even with 0 boost, not double committing. Yeah, Gravelords are sticking it to them this time. Only 1 goal up, but they are definitely controlling the play here. Arrival with that one good offensive push, but honestly, that's the only one I remember. They may have had 1 or 2 other good offensive pushes, but Gravelords are just shutting them down in midfield now. And if they can keep this up, they've got a good look at having the series in the bag already. They're looking good.
They are certainly looking good, and they don't have a huge lead, but a lead nonetheless. Will they be able to keep it in the final 20 seconds here as Cottony is going to send one all the way down and on net. Magma getting the save for it. Magma leaving it for Shun. Shun trying to get the dunk on Ibonic as Ibonic scrambles to try and get the ball down. Mythic trying to clear the path for him. Cottony gets the 50. This could be something here as Magma sends it away, securing game number 2 win for the Gravelords.
Yes, the Gravelords needed that badly. That first game, going down 3 just a couple minutes into the game was so unfortunate. And only one of those actually being a defensive mistake. So coming out of the second game, definitely an actual game this time. The intensity was up there. Great plays from both sides. Gravelords, though, holding up as Magma has the Savior Medal +1 and the MVP. Magma coming through for that Gravelords defense. Yeah, at this point, it can go either way. Arrival did get that first game win. Gravelords coming back strong in the second. I think at this point, Arrival's got to figure out an answer for the Gravelords aerial play for sure. They seem to be dominant in the air. Arrival's going to have to figure out how to challenge them sooner, or just ice them out of those aerial plays. But Gravelords are sticking it to him in the midfield. Arrival can hardly even get any offense going, Psycho.
Yeah, that was a quite a different situation in game number 2 than what we saw in game number 1, and I have to be curious moving into game number 3 as we enter the Coliseum. Are we going to see a similar game from game 2, or are we going to see a game number 1? Which of these teams do you think, Dr. Waffles, if either of them have a clear advantage here?
Um, I think it's up to Gravelords right now. I think that game two, them taking game two, was definitely not a mistake from Arrivals. They were playing good as well. They were playing pretty quick. I think it was more of a Gravelords getting all up in their face, not wanting that game one to happen again, just like there. Magma scoring off of that corner bounce. He plows that thing through Mythic, and Case attempting a bump on Ibonic. Ibonic was forced to jump early and couldn't get that save. Magma throws it off the corner to himself. You got to keep getting plays like that if your Gravelords stay in their face. You've already learned that in game two it works, so you might as well keep doing it. It seems like they are very comfortable in that aspect, getting in their face, being aggressive, Psycho.
Yeah, it's worked for him so far. We'll see if it continues to work for him as Magma's going to force to send that one back into his own corner. Shun's there with it, though, getting the carry over. Mythic with
Oh
the
my.
pinch. This could be something dangerous. The double commit comes out, but it doesn't
Oh.
matter as Ibonic is able to come in and clean the play up for his team, securing a tie ball game.
It seems like Gravelord's kryptonite is just insane pinches coming out from Arrival. I don't know what's going on. Every time Arrival gets a good pinch, a good challenge, it just goes straight into Gravelord's net. Great play from Arrival there, to be fair. Mythic heads up play to just pinch that off that sidewall because there was no one in the corner. And then you had two Arrival players beating the Gravelords back to their own goal line. So, I mean, good heads up play from Arrival, but Gravelord's just getting absolutely demolished by Arrival's pinches.
Yes, most definitely. Magma out of the corner trying to get something going. Shun is still there with it, with the shot that didn't have the angle that it needed to have, but it still puts Arrival in quite the awkward situation here. Arrival scrambling to get out of their own half, and Shun there with it, sending it out to the mid, finding Case with a banger of a shot, but it's not going to be on target as Case sends it up. Mythic is there, gets the touch on it, but Shun to send it back to the mid. Case gets misses the boost, but still is able to get the touch on the ball. And Shun blocks the clear again. Magma there with it off the backboard. Cottony missing his touch. Case off the backboard as well, but Cottony there with it this time down to Ibonic, who clears it across the midline. He's going to 50 with Magma's. Mythic takes the shot. Case with the deflection. And Gravelord staying strong defensively so far. Ibonic trying to force it through. Magma with the 50 and Shun to clear it across. Gets the touch off of the sidewall. Trying to get this cleared out. Mythic down to Courtney. And oh my goodness, Arrival trying to make everything happen. Trying to pull out all the stops. But Gravelord's not letting them through as Shun stays strong down to Case, who clears it across. And now Gravelords with the offense attempt here as Magma sends it off the backboard. A little over 2 minutes left here. Left on this as Cottony tries to go with the fake on Case, but Case not faked out. Remains strong and smart on the defensive line. And 2 minutes remain, Dr. Waffles. And we've got quite the game of back and forth here, and it's tied at 1.
This is looking a lot like game two here, Psycho. Game two only being a 1-goal game. If this is actually how this series is going to go, it's going to be back and forth all the way to, to possibly a game 5, it looks like, from how close these is. I mean, there's really no telling from here on. Definitely this game 3 is very important, obviously, with the series being 1-1. Whoever wins this is now at game point, and they have a lot more room to breathe. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can say about this game in particular other than that these teams are fighting. They are fighting for every move they make. They are fighting for possession. They are fighting for these opportunities. All the shots and everything. They're pretty low. It's a midfield battle here. They can't even get any extended offensive pushes. So it's gonna take. Ooh,
Oh,
that was almost what I was about to say. It's gonna take some crazy play from one of these players. I'm assuming some sort of solo play is going to start coming out because the team play just seems to be shut down by the other roster. So hopefully we can see a good play here as we've only got 30 seconds left, Psycho. So I'll throw it back to you.
yeah. Hopefully, in these final 30 seconds, we do see something come out. If not, we will move into overtime, where eventually a goal is going to come out, and we can only hope that it's something sweet and steezy, and doesn't come off of a weird pinch or whatever. As Case going to pinch it there and try and clean it up as well, but it's going to get hit over him. Shun with the shot, but it's going to go wide and get knocked away by Ibonic. Shun with the 50 on Mythic in the midfield. Magma's there, but he shanks his shot. Is the final second. The ball is still up, but Contney's going to put that down, and we have an overtime in game number 3 here in the Coliseum between Arrival and Gravelords. Which of these teams is going to be able to come out victorious and move into game 4 with a match point situation? This Case is going to come off the backboard. Cottney sends it down. Magma sends it back. Ibonic to send it back. Ping pong between these two teams. This entire game 3 has been a battle in the midfield, and it doesn't seem to be changing here in overtime as Magma is going to 50 with Ibonic. Mythic off the backboard. No, Shun going to stop it from hitting the backboard, but Mythic still takes it away from him and is able to get it sent to the mid. Mythic, again, just keeping the pressure in favor of Arrival as Ibonic 50s with a defender trying to clear the ball out, and that was a dangerous miss from Ibonic in the corner. Magma 50s in the midfield as it gets sent away, and we are 60 seconds into this overtime now, Dr. Waffles. And oh my goodness, Shun with a huge shot.
Oh my gosh.
Case putting it up. I was just about to say neither of these teams have a clear advantage to me, but then that Gravelords push just came out.
Yeah, I think this is a tough one for both teams. This is one of those really taxing games. After this one, the winner of this game is definitely going to have the momentum going into game 4. After not scoring for this long, you get 2 early goals in the game, and now you're going into a couple minutes of overtime as well. The play has been fast. The play has been aggressive. There have been several close calls. This is a very mentally taxing game here for both rosters. So, I mean, there's really no telling, though, Psycho. Okay. All right. Anyway, there's really no telling here. I can't decide if one team has the advantage or not. I really don't see.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there is one to me. Both of these teams are just going back and forth. And like we saw in game number 1, oh my goodness, they saved it.
Oh my god.
Gravelord's able to save it as Magma comes in clutch there. Arrival with the dropped opportunity. And 2.5 minutes into this, and both of these teams are just being wore down second by second that goes by here. Shun out of the corner, and he's going to pinch with Cottney, and Cottney going to stick with the ball. Magma to take it away from him, but Cottney regains control. Ibonic flicks it off the top of Cottney's car. Shun down there with it, has to 50 with Mythic. Case going to take control off the sidewall. Case 50s with Cottney. Up to Magma, who bounces it off the wall. Shun's there with it. He might have something here. He gets it past Mythic. And Gravelords with a beautiful play going to take game number 3.
Oh my goodness. The ice in Shu's veins right now. Shuns, not shoes. That was insane. Popping it up from that midfield wall. Air dribbling it all the way over that defensive line. Gravelords needed this if they are to continue on. They now have the momentum. That's 2 games in a row for Gravelords, although that game 3 was very hard fought. Arrival right now, if they're not in the right headspace, it's really, really easy to just be worn down, and it's going to be tough going into this game 4 for Arrival. I think it's going to be tough for them to come back here. Like I said, Gravelords with all the momentum. Shun feeling great after that air dribble. Absolutely. They're getting hyped there in that overtime. And Arrival now facing elimination from postseason play. All the pressure is on Arrival right now. The gameplay is looking good from Gravelords. I'm not seeing a whole lot of mistakes. So if Gravelords can keep this up and just kind of hope that Arrival are kind of worn down here, there's a good chance. But as I say that, Ibonic comes out swinging, aggressive. Case mistouch. Cottony pops it off the back wall, and Ibonic is there, puts it behind both defenders. What a shot from Ibonic. Maybe I was wrong.
Yeah, that was really, really necessary, in my opinion, for the Arrival roster to get that early lead there off of the Gravelords, as the Gravelords got the momentum from the last 2 games, and you really don't want to be down like that. So it's good that they were able to get that and show that they still had some life left in them. As Mythic is going to go ahead and secure a second goal for Arrival early on, less than 30 seconds.
Mythic shot on goal. It's nice and slow, but Magma is too busy pole dancing over there to save the ball. Unfortunate for Gravelords. That's gotta hurt.
Excuse me, I had to yawn, and that's definitely gotta hurt. But there's still plenty of game left here. Plenty of time for the Gravelords to come back. And honestly, even if they aren't able to come back, there's still the game number 5. Cottony trying to get stylish with it, getting the 180 flick going down, but it's going to go a little bit high as Ibonic wants to take the shot as well. Can't do it. Mythic with another shot on net, and he just seems like his shots, like the defense don't even see his shots coming.
Arrival are putting on a clinic in this first minute of game 4. This is such an important one for them to come out swinging. This is almost like game 1, only the fact that I'm actually seeing these goals being earned, not just, off of unfortunate pitches. Arrival looking like an absolute unit of a roster right now. Gravelords getting a little nervous probably, although you're right, they do have a 1-game buffer, but you never want to go into a game 5 off of a loss. Then you just got it in your head that the other team's about to come back, and that's never a good headspace to be in.
Yeah, it's true. That is a much rougher spot than going into a game 5 off of a win. I agree with that, but we'll have to see here. The Gravelords were able to go into game 2. Oh, and Cottony with the bar down ski to extend that lead for Arrival by 4 points now.
Arrival not only coming out with all of the excellent angles and speed, also coming out with the physical aggression, getting the double demo on that play. So there was just a completely open net to shoot on. What a play from Arrivals. They are looking on fire right now, Psycho.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, they're looking a lot different than they looked in game 2 and game 3.
That's the truth.
Yeah, the Arrival roster I'm seeing right now probably could have swept the Gravelords here, but so I'm not sure what woke up inside of them or what they weren't doing in the beginning, but they weren't even playing this good in game number 1, where they pretty much ran away with it. But now Case going to hit it into the corner. Cottony trying to get his shot off. And Magma sending it all the way down, but Mythic was back, so he wasn't caught out. As we entered the second half of this game, Arrival still leading this thing by 4, looking to force the game 5 out of the Gravelords here. Interested in making the Gravelords work for this win as they send it across the midline. Cottony going to take it away from him. Cottony keeping control of it, but Magma getting in front of him and stopping any attempt at a pass. Cotney off the backboard. He's going to carry it, but Shun gets up and blocks him. 2 minutes now remaining on the clock here. And still a 4-0 in favor of Arrival, Dr. Waffles. I'm not even sure if Gravelords can make a comeback here in game number 4. Even though there's plenty of time, they might just need to wash this game and look forward to game number 5, as Ibonic is just going to sink another one through.
Yeah. You know, you hate to see it. A whole minute and 40 seconds left in the game, down 5. I mean, that's a long time to be down 5. Yeah, it doesn't feel good sitting that far behind for so long. Gravelords are going to have to be very careful going ahead with the mind space, with the headspace that they come into Game 5 with. They know that they can dominate. They did it 2 games in a row. That first game you could chalk up to luck if you can convince yourself of it, whether it was or not. And yeah, Gravelords are definitely going to have to come. I think this game 4 is pretty much chalked up to Arrival absolutely dominating, not even close. So Gravelords are going to have to change up their play style. What I'm not sure about here, Psycho, which I think I want your input on is this Arrival or is this Gravelord's fault? This scoreline.
I think it's Arrival, to be honest with you. From what I'm seeing here, I mean, Case has got 3 saves. They don't got a lot of shots, the Gravelords. Shun's been able to put 3 shots on net, but I really feel like Arrival is just not allowing Gravelords to really clear the ball very good. And so they're just and they're applying all of the offensive pressure, and they're making huge saves like that too. I mean, Arrival, even though they just got scored on right there, Gravelords trying to make a comeback here. Too little, too late. But Arrival's got 5 saves to their name. Arrival's out shooting, outscoring, and outsaving the Gravelords in game number 4.
Arrival are looking like a totally different team here. I mean, at first, it was luck, and then they were kind of falling behind, and Gravelord stepped up. Now Arrival's stepping up. Game 5 is going to be an interesting one. We have both teams having stepped up and just dominating the other roster. I mean, how on earth do you predict something like that?
Yeah, it's a tough thing to predict, but honestly, I think we're either going to have a really, really close match in game number 5, or a really, really close game in game number 5, or we're going to have Arrival just absolutely running away with it like they did here in game number 4.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one. It's like there's not a whole lot to say about it. This series has been so back and forth. I mean, to be fair, it's pretty entertaining aside from this game 4, to be fair. Arrival just running away with that one. But I mean, it's been pretty entertaining seeing Gravelords come back from that rough game 1 loss. We are heading into game 5 in an interesting stadium,
Which
I must say.
Nope, we definitely gotta reset this one.
No one saw on the stream. We ended up in the what's it called? What's this?
I don't even
the throwback. The throwback.
Yeah, the throwback. Yeah,
the throwback where the goals are several car lengths away from the back walls. Anyway, as we reset that lobby. No, yeah, this game 5, I'm very much looking forward to, because this is one of those ones where you have to go into with no expectations whatsoever, because we've seen both teams dominate. We've seen both of them come back from tough losses. So really, in this game 5, I mean, it's easier. We agreed earlier, it's easier to go into a game 5 off of a win. So Arrival definitely have the momentum here. But from what I've noticed in the rest of the series is, as soon as you start 100% dominating, the other team's just going to come back and have an answer for you. So, I mean, based on the rest of the series, I would expect Gravelords to come back from this. But, I mean, like I said, there's no telling.
Yeah, and I mean, they were able to come off of a loss in game number 2 and pick up the win. So They definitely have the ability to do that. But will they be able to do it here in game number 5? This is for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen, as we step onto, or not we, but these 6 players step onto the pitch here at Champions Field. One of these teams' seasons ends in this next 5 minutes, and the other team moves on to play against Distortion next week, and it's looking like it might be Arrival as Mythic starts things off in the first 30 seconds.
Mythic going absolutely crazy, double tapping it to himself off the wall, off the corner, and then follows it up himself off of a demo. What a play coming out from Arrival in the first 30 seconds. Arrival coming out hot already. Oh no, and that's goal number 2. Is this going to be like a game 4 cycle? What is going on?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be like a game number 4 here. When Arrival gets that early lead like that, they seem to run away with it, and barely 30 seconds gone by, they've already got 2, and now Gravelords having to play on their heels, having to play from behind, which they haven't had a great track record of doing so far in this series or even in the postseason.
Oh, no.
As Cottony, no, you're fine. As Cottony tries to get another shot there on the net, Magma trying to do everything that he can to keep the ball away from his net. A little pass play with Case there. Case is going to pinch it off of the back wall, but he can't get it to go in a way that's helpful for his team. As Case is going to take a long shot, but can't beat out Mythic. And that was an opportunity there for the Gravelords. And another opportunity here as Shun trying to clear the way for a Magma, going to clean it up as Case's shot gets lightly deflected.
There is what Gravelords needed. The attempted bump from Shun. Case dribbling that up, getting the 50 right in front of the goal, setting Magma up for that pretty easy shot. That's what Gravelords need right there. Only a minute and a half into the game. It's a game again. Only down 1. This is definitely possible now.
Yes, it certainly is, and it's still in the first half. So we'll see if the Gravelords are able to pick up the pieces. Shun getting a piece of that ball, but not able to get a great shot. And Cottony going to put it away. Mythic trying to get the offensive roll going. And Ibonic gets in front of that one. Ibonic sending it into his own corner. And he's going to stick with it. He 50s with Shun. Mythic trying to get the clear. And Mythic going for the demo. Gets the demo, but Shun is still able to get the save on that ball. And Shun really, really strong on the defensive line. Case with the shot that's going to go a little bit too high there as we walk closer and closer to the halfway point here in game number 5. Arrival versus the Gravelords. Arrival up by 1 at this point, but Dr. Waffles, I think it's very much possible for the Gravelords to come back here. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, we've already seen that Gravelords can control this Arrival roster. My only concern was the headspace that they were in at the time, losing a game so badly after already being in match point, going into game 5 after losing by 4 or 5 goals. That's a tough one to come back from. It's really about headspace after that point, keeping your consistent gameplay. Because after you go down that far, your gameplay changes. You don't really care that much. You're just trying to get a goal or 2 to head into the next game. But okay, never mind. So I was really worried about Gravelord's headspace here. But after that one play, Magma putting it in. It's having that deficit. Gravelords definitely are coming back. They're in the right headspace here. They understand this is our last chance on the season, right? After this, they're done for the season. So they knew they needed to make a play, and they did. We'll see if they can do it again.
Yeah, they're running out of time to do it again as we reach the 60-second mark here. Shun with the 50, but can't get it through Mythic, and
Oh.
nobody back. Mythic's save is going to turn into a counter attack, and Arrival now lead by 2.
This just turned very sour for Gravelords. All 3 of them were over in that corner. I don't remember who it was went for that challenge, but bumped his own teammate. No one could get back. That is so unfortunate for Gravelords. They've got to get a goal like right now if they're going to be able to beat out this Arrival defense twice in the next 45 seconds.
Yeah, I agree with that. They need something now, or they're not going to be able to make it through. As they are trying, the ball is in the midfield. Shun is there with it. Cottony is going to make the save there, picking up the savior medal and keeping the lead in favor of Arrival. Ibonic a little bit awkward with the ball, but he's able to beat Case to it on the sidewall. Shun is there, sends it away, and Mythic gets demoed by Case. Cottony going to fake out Magma as he turns off the ball. Case is with it, but he gets taken away from him. Shun pops it up. The final seconds here, the ball just has to touch the ground for Arrival to claim their Game 5 win, and their spot against Distortion next week in the playoffs. The ball is still up, but it's all but over. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Arrival are your winners. Hats off to them. Gravelords going home for this season. They had a great run at it, if I do say so myself there, Dr. Waffles.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to get this far even is to be on the upper half of your season. So, I mean, definitely nothing to scoff at getting this far into the play-in tournaments. But, at the end of the day, someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. Great showing there from Arrival. After going down 2 games in a row there, Arrival coming back and clutching up when they needed it. Facing Arrival now facing Distortion, the number 1 seed out of the Rival League, pretty handily, being 3 games up from number 2. So they're definitely going to have to prepare well for that Distortion match. It's going to be a tough one. But, good showing from them. Good on them. That's all from me.
Yeah, it certainly was a good one, but that is going to wrap it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. And we are a little bit behind here, so we are going to take a very, very short break before we get back to our next match where we go into the Titan League. We'll see Venganza, who had to take the forfeit loss on Monday, going up against Nebula, who took the loss from Blizzard. And I think that's going to be a really, really good one. The winner of that one will be moving on to their playoff position as well. Dr. Waffles, thank you for joining me in the booth here, but we have to get to break real quick, and we can get back as soon as possible.
Yes, sir.